Welcome to the 3 secrets of how to deal with your fears. Hi, my name is Andrea, and I know you're probably wondering on how to deal with your fears. Believe me, I've had lots of fears all my life. I've had fears from growing up with an abusive childhood. I've had fears of being raped in a hospital. I've had fears of dealing with 4 car wrecks last year. Believe me, I've had tons and tons of fears, and I've had a lot of fears I've had to face to overcome in my lifetime. And believe me, even last year I was in a fog for 10 months, and it was really hard. I had no way of getting out of it. I was even pushed off of over a ravine with a car when I was just getting back into driving. That even caused more fear for me. And I was just about afraid of everything. I didn't know which direction to take. And one day I had to finally realize I had to face my fears. And I kind of figured out, you know what? There's got to be a way for me to face those fears. And one of the ways I really realized that came to me is that, I have a very strong spiritual belief is that, facing my fears I had to come up with something very simple for myself. And I had friends try this. I had other folks try this, and they really liked it. It really changed for them. It really was a game changer. So I'm here to share it with you today. And you know what? We're going to get started. What I first need you to do is to go get like 3 pieces of paper, a pen or a pencil, and some place to sit and write. And then we'll get started. What I'd like to know as you're getting your pencils and paper is that I'm going to be here for you, no matter what, because I understand what it's like to be in those fears because, they stop you from doing whatever you want to do in life. It's like sometimes they trap you in the house. Sometimes they want to cause you to eat. They want to cause you to have compulsions. They can cause all sorts of issues in your life. And you know what? And a lot of times folks don't have love and compassion for you when you're dealing with those fears. And you know what? I'm here to have love and compassion for you because you know what? I know what it's like to deal with fears. And what I'd like you to do is, the first thing I'd like you to do is, I realize I forgot it's kind of backwards on here. Well, you know what? I guess I'm going to have to just talk it out to you. Got a little mistake here. What I would like you to say is, I have a fear of, and to take the top 5 fears or more if you'd like, and then write those down on your piece of paper. And as we're doing that, I'll give you about a minute or two. And I want you to really think about, what are your fears? What are your top fears? What are those things that prevent you from doing what you really need to do? If there are more than 5, you can write. That is great, because that way you can get those all down on that paper and see them in front of you. Because a lot of times those can, for me, I know they rolled around my head like a squirrel cage. But when I get them down on paper and see them in front of me, it was a big game changer. And you know what? One thing I'd like you to do, okay, now that you've probably had a chance to get your fears down, I'd like you to take your second piece of paper. And what I would like you to do is to write out those same fears. And what I would like you to do next to those same fears as you write them out is to say not true next to each one of them. Because a lot of times we have to realize that our fears are just false beliefs. We can have fear for walking down a dark alley, or we can have fear of crossing a busy street, or somebody coming at us with a car. Yeah, there are fears that are really true and that keep us from, harming ourselves. But a lot of fears will prevent us from doing what we want to do. And we have to realize that they're only false beliefs, things that, after a while, we kept telling ourselves that these are true. These are true. These are true. We have to tell themselves they are not true. And what I would like you to do next to each one of them is to write not true. Because you know what? They are not true. And I know you can say that to yourself. They are not true and that they are only false beliefs. You know what? For me, that was a very empowering thing to realize that they were false beliefs. Because when I came out of that fog last year, I had to tell myself, you know what? I can do it. I can do it. And say to myself that what that lady done to me is I don't have to live in fear anymore. And what she did to me and all the fears that I was continuously having to have next to it was not true. And or the car accidents or driving in a car again and the fear of driving through snow, which I had earlier this year. And I got through it. The fear of that, I got through that and I had to say to myself, you know what? I could do it. That wasn't true. Well, I'd like you to take out your next sheet of paper, and what we're going to do is turn them into affirmations. Yes, affirmations. You probably have heard the word affirmations. One thing I found that was for me a big deal was I'm going to read you some of my affirmations I did for myself. I told myself I was a failure. And then I said, I'm successful and have a great passion for whatever life, people I love, relationships. I'm not acceptable, not true. I accept myself just as I am. I'm not powerless, not true. I am powerful inside. I am not good enough, not true. I am great enough. I don't have good goals, dreams, and hopes. I have great goals, dreams, and hopes. What I want you to do is take all those fears and turn them into affirmations and say, I am. For most of them, you'll be able to say, I am not this. I am not that. I am great. All that. You know what? You can do it. I know you can do it because you know what? I could do it. Friends could do it. You know, all of us a lot of times have been through a lot of challenges in our life. And a lot of times people don't understand because you know what? They don't understand what we have dealt with fears. Some of us have been through a very difficult times. But the one thing I have found that as I walk through those fears is that out the other side is there's a lot of happiness. There's a lot of self-confidence that comes out of it. There's a lot of growth. It's kind of like you plant a seed in a garden. And when you plant that seed in good soil, which is affirming your fears and realizing it and turning them into positive affirmations, you're planting them in good soil. And when you plant that in good soil, it grows. And you can grow into a beautiful flower. And you know what? When you turn those affirmations into that, you're planting those seeds for yourself. And what I would like you to do after you've turned them and all of those things into beautiful affirmations is say themselves every day in the morning, at night, whenever you can. Because you know what? The more you say those affirmations to yourself, the more you'll realize, you know what? I can overcome those fears. Because you know what? I've overcome a lot of fears myself. And believe me, I have had a difficult life. But you know what? I don't have to have a difficult life anymore if I choose to. Because you know what? I've turned them into affirmations. Because I realized they were only false beliefs. And with that, I was able to move forward in my life. And moving forward is where I want you to go too. And you know what? We all can have a great day. And with that, I bid you adieu. Thank you.